Hello and welcome one and all. It is ICD, or the Dark One, and earlier this year I talked about The Never Tilting World, and I came across really liking the book. And today I'm here to talk about its sequel, The Ever Cruel Kingdom. For those of you who need a refresher of our story, this takes place in a world that stopped spinning, with one half of the planet being boiling under the sun, and the other half being flooded with storms and rain and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, both sides of the world are ruled by twin goddesses, each with one daughter of their own, with both daughters seeking a way to fix the broken world and stop the disasters that it's facing and potentially save their world, fully believing that their half the planet still exists. Along the way, they're met by their respective partners, I mean that in both cases, I mean that in both senses of the world, Arjun and Lan, respectively, and they set off to a temple at the center of the world. There they meet and are also met by darkness, which nearly consumes the group as they fight it off in order to make their escape. As the goddess of the underworld seeks to claim one of them to complete an ancient ritual that was left unfinished and caused this disaster that broke the world. And that is where we left off, with our heroes desperately trying to escape a death pit, and, well, the twin sisters meeting each other for the first time. And with our sequel beginning, our heroes manage to escape the grasp of the underworld, and we get some time with all four of them together. They try to gather their thoughts and figure out what exactly to do with, well, the shock of their journeys, and the truth revealed to them about, well, their existences and the causes of some distress. But there's also some good news. The world is now turning, with, well, the world drowned under waves, and, well, being drowned under the waves, the twins and their respective lovers had to figure out how to save what's left of the world, which was the part that was now buried under the sunlight. And honestly, seeing this as a duology is a surprise. So many books these days, or trilogies, are longer, so it's nice having a short, simple duology as a pretty fun experience. And it does work for the story and gives some kind of creative symbolism between the whole pairing things, twin goddesses, twin books, all that kind of stuff. And, well, yeah. It also works as a bit of a contrast, too, because in the first book, we had our four protags apart for the most part until the middle part, in which case pairs came together, and at the end, all four were together. But now we have all four working together as a group. And it works really well. And it's also really cool. From the sisters, Haiti and Odessa basically having this immediate twin connection thing, and they kind of dance around the idea that one of their mothers is lying about the whole being their mother thing. And also, Odessa having a ton of guilt about what happened in the last book, when how she kind of let all the power of the underworld go to her head and just twist her in a way. And, that's pretty good, as she's basically in the corner of the whole book, kind of being like, I don't want to lose control over myself again. As well as the further guilt she faces when she realizes that her half of the planet flooded over when the world started turning again. Haiti has a lot more to deal with, especially in her case too, because she has to deal with the idea of confronting her mother directly about her mother being overly controlling, as well as the various political machinations of the Golden City. Oh, and also there's an oncoming swarm of demons that keeps appearing to try to come after the girls, in particular Odessa, as they work to uncover the mysteries of the past and the twin goddesses. Arjun and Lan also form some close connections, essentially becoming siblings-in-law in spirit thanks to, well, their solidarity over being the goddesses' lovers, and wanting to support the twins and each other in their relationship through these very trying times of demon swarms. I'm not going to hold this back. The demon swarms lead to some really cool action scenes where the group has to fight off the swarm of demons. I keep repeating that because it is intense. Like when they say, oh, the demons are coming, it's going to be a big fight. Anyway, here's a quick question for all of you. When you're reading or watching something and then they name drop something, does it ever just connect the series of dots in your head that basically spells out the rest of the plot for you? because they name dropped the goddess of the underworld's name as Ireshki, the light bulb in my head just fucking exploded, and I figured out where the plot was going from there. I'm not gonna say where, but if you know your Mesopotamian mythology, and you know Ireshki is a myth in particular, you might figure this out too. With the stuff with the Ireshki and her sister. Oh god, that set off a giant ass light bulb in my head. It was honestly kind of funny, and just goes to show where my love of mythology is helping me out in this case. And I just love cool nods into myths and legends and fantasy series that aren't exactly them playing it straight. Like, this does do the Ireshki myth, but it takes its own spin on it. Speaking of fantasy, I didn't talk much about it because, in all honesty, only one half of the story felt like it contained good action. But yeah, now that everyone's united, we get some really good group action scenes and moments of the group working together to fight the swarm of demons and other bad guys they face across the entire series. Mostly political machinations by assholes. And everyone gets at least one or two good action scenes and good moments here. And they come up with some considerable ways to nerf or disable their respective goddesses, considering the fact that they're both in-universe walking powerhouses. And the older goddesses also get their licks in and do some cool stuff. Overall, I have to say I love this duology of books. They're a pretty cool combo if you want to get some fun, cool action fantasy work going down, as well as, you know, the LGBT stuff that I didn't go into because, you know, I don't really want to talk about romance here, but it's also some pretty decent romance material too if you're into that stuff. So yeah. The Evergruel Kingdom and Never Tilting World. I don't know if this duology has an official name, but if you're looking for some quick books to read that are some fun times, I recommend these two. Yeah. So, till next time, everybody.